Hey everybody, welcome to the Christian Night Podcast starring me, Cristian Inferno, and Sonic Knight. Today we're going to be talking about a tag, answering a tag, asking each other questions, just a bunch of different stuff. This is a part 2. I'm sure you already listened to part 1. If you didn't listen to part 1, well, listen to part 1. What are you doing? Listen to part 1 after this. Listen to part 1 before this. Just listen to both of them. Just listen. Alright, well, here we're about to get started.
What's up, everybody? So the first question, are you afraid of the dark? Why or why not? So, I am not.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the dark. He's afraid of the dark. I don't care what he says. He is. Everybody's afraid of the dark.
Everyone is not. I'm not afraid of the dark, and that's. I mean, I used to be as a kid, but I think everyone used to be. I don't really have a reason.
It depends on what you mean by afraid.
If it's, I mean,
sure,
if it's a dark area.
By the dark, because I feel like everybody's uneasy.
If it's a place dark, I don't know, definitely yes. But if it's just like my house, I'm really not that scared. But maybe like in my basement, I'd be a little uneasy. Because no one really goes in there. Same with my attic. I'm a little uneasy. But,
yeah, so that means you're afraid of it.
Yeah, I guess that would mean I'm afraid of the dark.
See, look, I already told you I knew what you were going to say. I knew it.
Hey, I'm not in my own home. I'm not too afraid of it.
Yeah, no, I would say I'm afraid of the dark.
Alright, this is my own question. This isn't on the tag. Would you, okay, if it was a place you didn't know, and there was something let's say you lost something important, like your phone, but it was in like the deepest, darkest corners of like an abandoned hospital, like somewhere really old and creepy, would you go and get it? Don't question how it got there. Yes, by yourself.
Am I allowed to take anything with me?
Yeah, I guess you could take whatever you want.
Then yeah, I'd go get it.
Yeah, I think I would too, but I'd be freaked the hell out.
I mean, it depends. Like, if you're in an abandoned hospital or something like that, like, if you ever seen like Ghost Adventures, like Waverly Hills Sanitarium, stuff like that. Like, if you're on, or even stuff like here, like there's Peter's gun cartridge, that's abandoned, that's a big thing. Like, if you're in like just some random room, I feel like you grab it, you can walk out real quick. But if it's like in like the basement of somewhere, like there's no easy access to escape,
yeah,
and you hear it ringing from like far away, and I'd probably be like, you know what, I can get a new phone. I have all my stuff backed up on the cloud, so
yeah, I have my stuff backed up on like Google Drive and shit. I might just leave my phone there, honestly. I changed my mind. Maybe I wouldn't go get it. If it, like you said, if it was somewhere easy to go to, I'd be like, yeah. But in like the basement of a hospital or something, I'd be like, yeah, I'll get a new phone.
If it's somewhere where you're not getting out once you get in, or it's easily cut off, like, yeah, hell no. I could just leave it. I could get a new phone.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt to get a new phone.
Yeah, it's something special like a phone. Who cares?
Yeah.
If it's something that's like very important, if it's like your friend or something, hell yeah, I would go, because I wouldn't just leave my friend there. But then I would have the question: who kidnapped whoever, and what are they doing it for, and how did that even happen? So I probably wouldn't even be thinking. I'd probably be thinking a lot more than, oh, it's in a abandoned hospital. I'd be thinking, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, there's another one. Have you ever known anyone convicted of a violent crime?
You can answer that first.
So, I haven't. It depends on what they mean by known, because if they mean like one of your friends, like someone you talk to, then no. But someone you just kind of came across, yes. I've met multiple people like around school that have. So.
Yeah. Well, I would have to say, if you're going for your logic, yes, and if it's, do I have friends that have? Unfortunately, yes. But you know, people change, people make mistakes. You know?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? They might have some really good reasons for it.
I don't want to put nobody's name. I'm not putting nobody's name out there. I'm not. You know, if somebody knows, you know, if somebody listening to this, that I'm sure the people listening to this that know me, so you know who you are. But you know, I'm not airing your business out there. But yeah, there's some people that I know that have done stuff that they're not proud of. And if you meet them, you know, ever since I've known them and ever since I've interacted with them, they've been very good people, and they've always been good friends to me. So it don't matter to me what someone did in the past, as long as they're good in the present, you know?
Yeah, I personally don't mind it at all, as long as it's not something that's like you killed like an innocent person. If it was something like that, I would be like, alright, like, why'd you do that? But
yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you know, usually tell, like, you know what I mean? So if something, they just made a mistake and they're not proud of it, you know, people change and people learn their lesson, and people don't do stuff after they realize what a bad decision they made, you know? And even some people make the same mistake a couple times, but, you know.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not too bad, I'm fine with it. That's how I feel. But, what? Hold on. That are not really the same question, but they're similar. They have scariest real life experience and scariest paranormal experience.
Well, we can do both. You can go first on both of them.
Alright. So my scariest real life experience is easy. I was walking, you've heard this story, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you have. I was walking back from my friend's house, and for no reason at all, some guy who's walking on the other end of the street, I'm walking down, he's walking up. For some reason, he's shirtless and screaming like he's a meth head. And I was already just like, okay, this guy's weird. I need to get off the street. And it's like dark at night. And he suddenly, I had my headphones in, and I see him looking at me, like talking to me. I was like, is he trying to say something? So I took my headphones out, and he's like, what the fuck are you looking at? I'm just like, I just didn't say anything. I just kept walking. And he's like, all of a sudden, he sprints across the street at me. And I just bolted all the way to my house, and I've never ran that fast in my life. So that was like the scariest shit ever. I locked my doors and everything. Well, obviously, but
yeah. I mean, scariest situations, probably I've had a pistol pulled on me multiple times, so that's always scary.
Damn, how'd that go?
Oh, it's always scary. And there's this park that I always go to. You know, usually it's like late at night or whatnot, so it's never a good idea to go there, but I've always went there throughout my, you know, life, like since I was a teen. Really, I've always lived by that park, so I always go to it. But like me and my friends, you know, me and like 2 other friends, we always go there. Sometimes it's just me and the other one, sometimes it's all 3 of us, like it's like interchangeable of whether who's there, and then sometimes there's people there and not, but it's usually just us 3, and we have a track record there, like times that it went well and times that haven't, and so you know, just like anything, it's wins and losses. Wins will be the first column, so our track record there is probably like 7 and like 15. Like we had like 15 horrible experiences there.
What? Like any particular reason, or?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's happened there. Like, just random homeless people being really creepy and weird and, like, saying fucked up shit. People trying to jump us. People pulling pistols on us. Like,
jeez.
A couple times, like, there was one time it was me, my friend, and then, 2 other people that I honestly don't know why they were with us, but they were. But we go up there and we're just kind of walking around. I think we might have smoked. We definitely smoked. But you know, we're just walking and there's a hill and I hear something and they're kind of like back down, like there's a shelter, like this like stone temple shelter thing. Then there's like this little like pond that's man-made, but it was drained water at that point. And then there's like this hill and they're by like the ponds and I hear somebody, so I walk up, like walk really, you know, softly so nobody hears me, and I could hear them and I could see somebody like in the little wooded area back there. So I run back down. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna leave because there's somebody watching us, so let's fucking leave. And nothing bad happened, but I would say that's not a good experience to have somebody watching you from the woods.
Yeah,
and,
that's creepy as hell.
Noise. Yeah, that's not a good experience, you know. And that's like, you know, it's usually stuff similar to that. Like it hasn't caused me any bodily harm being there or anything like that. I've just had a lot of bad situations. I mean, it's caused some mental scars to me, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But, you know.
This is
yeah, so
this is like an honorable mention. One time I was at, do you know 69th Street here, over here? Do you know that area?
Somewhat. Not really
it's known to be a bad area, right? So I was around there and some old crackhead lady was just mouthing off at my mom, and I was really young at this point, so she was just mouthing off at her, talk like, fuck you, I hate you, like, you don't. First off, she didn't know my mom, but she was just saying all this shit, and then she spit at us as we were walking away, and like, it was just scary as shit. As a kid, I was like, whoa, what the hell, like, what is going on? Like, that was really weird. But you know, homeless people are fucking crazy a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them have mental problems, you know. Legit
Yeah.
mental disorders. So.
Yeah. But paranormal experience, I think my scariest has changed from the girl outside my steps. I think that's changed to the black-eyed kid encounter that I believe that I had, because I've been thinking about it a lot and it's gotten a lot creepier to me in my head. I explained what that encounter was in the last episode, but that episode had audio problems, so unfortunately you'll never see it. If you're watching this, I might tell it in another episode in the future.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll revisit it, but we want to revisit it when it's not going to sound like a forced conversation that we don't want to talk about, and we're just doing it just to be like, all right, well, we talked about it. I mean, you know, if you listen to this, we revisit topics a lot and do a lot of different things that are similar to, we're still trying to find a footing, you know, so.
Yeah, we don't want to sound disingenuous. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
What's your paranormal experience?
Alright, well, my worst paranormal experience is probably the hand tree that was outside of my house growing up, and I know you know about it.
Yeah.
That tree was the weirdest thing. I could see it outside my window. It was cut down maybe 3 years ago because my neighbor desperately wanted to sell his house because they were moving, because they had kids and the house was too small. So they cut it down, and I think it was in the weird lady that's next to me. There's this really weird lady. I don't even want to talk about her. She has some underlying issues. I don't know what's wrong with her. Like, no disrespect towards her at all. I don't know her.
Where was this lady? I know
about her, and she's in the house like adjacent to mine.
Oh, okay.
But it was in her yard, and I think they literally had to pay her for her to finally let them cut it down.
What? Why?
Or
That's
it
weird.
It might have been in their yard, but I thought it was something like that. because she just did not want to cut down. It was like it was partially in her yard, so they had to get her consent or something like that.
You have dukkha, you have frustration and suffering.
Okay. And she just didn't want that cut down.
Yeah, I guess. I
That's
mean, like,
weird.
I don't know, because I didn't ask them or nothing. I just kind of, like, briefly heard about it. And it could have been a rumor, for all I know. Yeah.
It becomes positively beautiful.
But,
Yeah.
I guess that's not even really, it's just that's something that bothered me, you know, very frequently, because it was such a weird thing.
Yeah, like, it's literally...
You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it, everyone, so it literally looks like a hand. Like, literally like a big hand. It's pretty creepy. I can't imagine it's like if it was by me.
It's one of those things, like, it had an aura to it, you know? And it had energy to it, and it was not a positive one.
That's really
I always
fucking
thought
creepy.
there was something weird. And really, since then, I feel like it feels a little bit different outside, but at nighttime, my street feels extremely weird. And I can't really put my finger on why it does, but it has a certain feel to it, and it's not like, I don't know how to exactly describe what it is, but it has a certain, like, energy to it outside, and it's not one that I really like. It's like, it's somber. Like, I'll sit outside sometimes at night and I'll just chill outside, I'll walk around outside, but it's one of those things, like, if I'm in a horrible mood, it does not help me being out there, because it kind of, like, adds to my mental state.
Makes it worse, yeah.
Yeah, and it, like, makes me kind of spiral out of control with my thoughts.
That's some shit.
And yeah, I've had a lot of bad experiences paranormal around my house and whatnot, and I don't think there's anything wrong with my house at all, really. I can't begin to tell you what's wrong with it, or like why. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but like why any of that stuff happens. I've had a lot of, like, my friend's backyard enters into a graveyard, and they don't have fences, so we play in the graveyard all the time, and there was a lot of weird stuff that went on in there.
Yeah, I heard about that. Weird ass fucking graveyard.
And there's graveyards surrounding in my neighborhood, and it's like specifically like my area of it. There's like, I just counted, there's more than I realized. There's like 5 cemeteries. Dang.
Why is there so many cemeteries?
I don't know. So, like, there's one really big one, and then all the rest of them are real small.
I have a
There's
really
one
big one
right-
by me. Like,
Yeah,
huge.
And then, you know, a couple miles down the road, I think it's like the 3rd biggest one in the United States. It's absolutely gigantic. Like, I've driven around there and got lost multiple occasions. Like, if you're not following people or something, then you're probably going to get lost in it, and you're not going to know where you are. Like, it's absolutely gigantic. Like, it's like a 5-mile long cemetery.
You've never been to the other side. And you see the...
It's as big as probably your neighborhood is.
You don't go
Jesus
over there.
Christ.
Look and see what's on top.
Like, it's absolutely gigantic. And it's like pretty well known.
See the other side.
But
I have a
well,
question though.
Your imagination.
Have you ever played with a Ouija board?
I haven't played. I've been in the presence of people messing around with it, but I've never directly, like, played with the Ouija board.
Yeah, me either, and I don't really want to either.
I mean, it depends on, cause like my sister is an idiot. She likes that type of stuff, and she made one out of like paper or something.
Does that stuff does that shit even work? Like, if you just make one yourself? Like, I don't know if that... I mean, I guess it
I
would.
don't know, but my little cousin was in the room with me, and it was at her old apartment, and he sit there crying and screaming and saying, like, he's so scared, you know, and all this stuff, and I'm telling my sister, I'm like, will you stop? I literally was like pretty much arguing with him, like, you're a fucking idiot, will you stop? Why would you even do that with him here? Anyway,
Yeah.
like, you know he's gonna get scared. And then I had to take him outside multiple times, reassure him that she's, you know, just been playing around. There's nothing that's real about that. And yeah, I don't know whether it's real or not.
I don't either, but I'm like, I don't know. I kind of lean towards.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of just my mindset on all that kind of shit. Like, I don't believe in it necessarily, but
at that apartment, she said she's seen entities and stuff like that at her apartment. That people died in her apartment before, like, she moved in, and a bunch of weird stuff. And you know, what she says isn't really reliable, so I can't really tell you whether that stuff happened or not. But who knows? I didn't like her apartment that much anyway. It was trash, to be honest with you. Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people that say their place is haunted, I feel like a lot of them are delusional. Like, they don't know what they're talking about.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. But like, if she's also into like tarot cards and stuff like that, and we're trying to like give people tarot cards readings, like, I brought my friend over there, and I'd only been hanging out with her a couple times. Like, I didn't know her all that well, and I was like, I mean, we ain't doing nothing. I guess we could go hang out with my sister. And then my sister starts reading her little tarot, starts reading her tarot cards, and I'm literally sitting there like, I just started hanging out with this. Like, you know, it wasn't like I was trying to, you know, it was just my friend. I wasn't trying to do nothing. But it's like, you bring someone to hang out with your family, and you don't know them that well, and you've hung out with them maybe 3 times previous, and then your family members are like, oh, do you want your tarot read? Do you want this? Do you want that? And you just like, I was just like, are you fucking serious? Like,
yeah, what
like,
the fuck?
what are you doing? Like, I was just like, I don't know. I was at a loss for words. I was kind of like, I don't understand what you're doing, why you do this, but this doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
She wasn't thinking nothing. I mean, it's pretty common sense. You don't just randomly ask people if they want their tarot read. Like,
yeah, like, what? I've just heard stories
like,
about them.
allegedly that you can read people's future, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, I know about that shit. I didn't know if they were like, if they were necessarily bad, like, or what. But
I mean, I don't know too much. I really don't know much about them either. But I guess you'd have to ask my sister. But she apparently knows everything about them.
Alright, so how old were you when you saw your first horror movie? And what was it? I guess I'll add that part to it.
I don't know my exact age. I feel like the
I don't
first
know either.
horror movie I saw was Child's Play, and it
I feel the same.
started me emotionally.
Yeah, same. I think that was the first horror movie I ever saw, and I was terrified of that when I first saw it. It's stupid now,
Yeah.
but when I was younger, that shit was
It
scary.
messed me up pretty badly, like emotionally. I was fucked
Yeah.
up from that movie.
I was really scared of dolls, especially.
Yeah, no, that was a horrible experience seeing that. Really, if you take it away from it being so campy and stuff, that was a very scary movie.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, when you look back at something that is really old and you saw it when you were young, it's like with anything. When you see something when you're young, it's really scary, or it's like really good, or it's really funny, and then you watch it after you hadn't watched it in a really long time, your expectations of it are so high.
Yeah, they're high.
Because you're thinking of your memories, and then even when you rewatch something, it's never as good as the first time you watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was definitely the first movie I saw. And then, not far after, I saw, The Grudge, which, that traumatized me. I hated that movie.
Yeah, I never saw The Ring, but I remember always people talking about that, and I was like, I thought that was some creepypasta stuff. I might have been like second grade, third grade when that came out.
I saw that when I was a little older though.
And I was like, it comes out of a videotape, and I thought it was real, and I was like, what the? I was like, this is crazy. I was like, do people know about this? We need to do something. I was like trying to figure out like what I could do and stuff, and I was like, wow, this is hella scary. And then I found out, you know, pretty soon after that it was just a movie, but I didn't know people were talking about it like it was real, and I was a little kid, and I was like, wow, this is serious. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny though.
Well, it's crazy to think when you're a kid, you have such a different viewpoint of the world, and instead of thinking about stuff, for not thinking that, you think about stuff how it is and what it is, rather than all the stuff that you add into it nowadays. You know, you literally see stuff for what it is, and that's why kids answer questions most honestly.
Yeah.
And kids tell you the truth, you know, because they don't think about the reputation or whatever. If something happens, they tell you what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what was with me watching and playing so much scary shit as a kid, like, cause I could play, this is kind of like off topic, but I could play like M-rated games and stuff, but I couldn't like play or watch anything like sexually mature. Like if it was like gory, they were like cool, but if it was like strippers or something, then they were like no. It's like,
well,
why are you restricting me now?
Why would you want your kid to? I mean, you won't want your kid to look at any of that stuff, but
yeah, but I feel like the blood and violence is worse.
Well, look, there's like movies where it's like you cover your kid's eyes if there's nudity, but you don't cover your kid's eyes if there's a murder happening.
Yeah, I guess, but like
I would cover my kid's eyes. I wouldn't watch something that has any of that stuff in it around them anyway.
Yeah, honestly, none of it. Like I played God of War. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Unless it's like a TV show or like a Netflix series, it doesn't really have any of that stuff in it, but it briefly has stuff in it, like 13 Reasons Why. Like,
yeah, then it's like fine, I guess.
But then it's like you don't know that that's happening. So if someone's in the room that can't handle that, you don't know, because you have like a lot of people, like if their kid wants to watch something, they'll watch something first and then decide whether your kid can watch it or not, you know?
Yeah.
But as far as games that really, like horror games that mess me up, I played, you know, on PlayStation 1, like when Resident Evil it first came out. It might have been a couple years old, but it was PlayStation 1 when PlayStation 1 was relatively new. I played the first Resident Evil, and you know, I was pretty young. I was maybe like 4 or 5. I mean, I was like 5, around that. I was around 5. It's probably like 2001.
Yeah, I don't know. The first like game like that I played was.
It messed me up. Seriously, it really messed me up really bad. To be honest with you.
Resident Evil.
Like, yeah, I don't know what it was, but maybe it's because I was sitting there playing it by myself, was young, and I had trouble sleeping after that for a while.
Yeah, I mean they're scary games, like even though you can fight back on like games like Outlast, but they're still scary games, especially the old ones. New ones not so much, but
it really messed me up. Like, it seriously messed me up. I don't know what it was, but it was one of the worst experiences that I mean, like in my entire life that I ever had.
Really, it was that bad?
Like, it seriously affected me emotionally worse than just about anything. Horrible experience. I could take it back and not have to deal with that. Without doubt, I would not.
Outlast scared me like pretty badly too. It didn't like scar me or anything, but I was still scared of it. Just scary ass game, especially the second one. That's probably the scariest game I've ever played.
Yeah, when are you gonna live stream that?
I don't know. I beat it a long time ago, so
I know, but I never got to see you play it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do that sometime.
Yeah, we could do that for the episode, you know.
Yeah, I guess we could. Just
because you remember, I watched me and you, because you played it, and I watched the entirety of Outlast, first Outlast, with you playing.
Yeah, that was fun, even though I had beat it already. See, Outlast 1 wasn't, the thing is, Outlast 1 wasn't nearly as scary as the second one. The second one is so scary. The first one, yes, dude. The first one, after you beat it once, the scariness really goes down. The second one, it's still very scary.
The story of the first one was pretty scary, I have to say.
Oh yeah, it was. And because the second one, it has these parts where you go back in the past. It's like these classroom parts in school, and the school's really dark. I don't know what it is, but something about those school hallways, those school hallway parts scares the shit out of me. I hate it. And it's like, there's this monster, I forget his name. Loudermilch. It's a normal guy's name because he's a normal guy. It's like, you know how movies and stuff will like, it'll be like a metaphor, like this monster is a person, like because he's so disgusting in real life, like we're gonna draw him disgusting, so he's like that. That's what it was. And this monster was one of the scariest things I've ever encountered in a video game. Like, it scared the shit out of me. And that's just one of them. There's multiple things that chase you in Outlast 2. That's just one of them. So that game gets your heart fucking rolling.
Yeah, I never seen any game. I think you did gameplay for like 10 minutes or something.
I don't remember playing it ever like a second time.
No, because I know you did, because I was asking you about it hella, and I was like I want to see you play it.
Yeah, I might live stream that sometime.
Yeah, we could do it for an episode, man, because, you know, because it's like anything, when we do that, whenever you play something, you know, I'm always commenting on it the entire time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm always saying something rude to you. Yeah.
For sure.
And even when I'm not in a party with you and I'm just watching it on Twitch, I'm always going in the comments and saying something, and you're literally pausing it, you're looking at it and responding back to it, and it doesn't matter if there's other people watching, and you literally kind of have a conversation with me. I think it's hilarious, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of miss live streaming.
Yeah, because you'd be playing something and I literally just be talking about my lunch, and you'd be like, oh yeah, you had a chicken sandwich? And you know, you'd be in the middle of like they're talking and monologuing, and then you literally stop and talk about my lunch, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here we go. Got some future ideas, I guess. So, that was the tag, guys. Part 1 and 2. If you haven't watched the first part, go and watch that right now, right this instant. And we will see you guys with a normal episode in the next one, like very soon. So, see you guys there.